guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Vanessa. In today's video, I'm going to be choosing my September TBR, and I'm going to be doing it kind of blindly. Let me show you what I mean. I have this lovely little jar here that has a bunch of numbers in it. They actually correspond to books that I have wrapped up, and I wrapped these up around Christmas 2024. On each book, I have little numbers, so the little paper slips correspond to the numbers. So I've absolutely forgotten at this point what any of these books are. I would like to unwrap at least 5 of these books. So the whole idea behind me wrapping all these books was that it was kind of like a self-destruct list for myself. So at the end of last year, what I did was all of the physical books that were on my TBR that I owned that weren't like a library book or an audiobook or a NetGalley, like anything like that, if I physically owned it, I actually pulled it off my shelves, wrapped it up, and I said at the end of 2025, if I have not read these books, they have to be unhauled. I did initially start out with a goal of trying to read at least 2 of these wrap books per month, but for some reason I just didn't stick with it, and I'm at the point now in September where I'm like, I need to start reading these books because I'm gonna end up unhauling books that I haven't even read yet or even given a chance. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to actually focus a lot more on these wrapped books this month and see if I can really decide if I want to keep or unhaul these books. So we're going to choose which books I'm going to be reading. But before we do that, I'm going to start off with the ones that I know that I will be reading. So the first book that I'm going to be reading for September is the Host for Prose book club pick, which is For the Fans by Nyla K. I initially thought this was a hockey romance, but apparently it's a football romance. So let me just read the synopsis for you guys. Kieran Harbour is everything I'm not. Rich, popular, a superstar football player who's awfully broody for someone who has it all. Basically, he's a preppy jock who hates me. Oh, and he's my stepbrother. That's right, we're stuck together, sharing a school, a house, a bathroom. Honestly, I wouldn't care if he wasn't such an upright control freak who messes with me just because we're different. I had every intention of avoiding him when we got to college, until abrupt misfortunes forces us both into a compromising position. Now the grouchy jerk I was hoping to evade might be the only person who can help me out of it. A.V. Vega is everything I despise. A dreamer, a flake, an artist who smokes too much weed and thinks aliens exist. And by some sick cosmic joke, he's now my stepbrother. Following me on what should have been my escape plan, it was already a disaster. Add a sudden financial disruption to the mix, and let's just say my options are heavily limited. If I want to stay an all-star quarterback on the way to the NFL, I'll need to do something drastic. Unfortunately for me and my desperate desire for control, the perpetually smiling stoner has a plan. Maybe we can stop hating each other just enough to pull this off, as long as we remember we're only doing it for the fans. For the fans! I feel like I didn't know anything about this book, but this is a full-length, standalone, male-male forbidden romance with an happily ever after. This book does contain some content warnings, so you might want to go check those out. I feel like I had no idea that first of all, this was a football romance, and second of all, it was a male-male romance, but this is Bree's pick for the month, and I'm very excited to read it because it's been on my TBR for a hot minute, so I'm here for it. And it's funny that one of the stepbrothers in the book, their last name is Vega, because the second book that is on my TBR for September is Zodiac Academy, Book 2, Ruthless Fae, and this is following the Vega twins. So because this is Book 2 in the series, I'm not going to say too much about it because it will spoil things, but this is part of my 2-year-long read-along that we're doing. This is the 3rd month that we're doing it, so we're in our fall semester in the 2nd month. So over the summer, we did the novella Point 5, which is the origins of an academy bully. Last month we did The Awakening, and then obviously this month we're going to be doing Ruthless Fae. So this one matches my hair, which is kind of funny, but I'm so excited to read this because I recently finished book 1, like my reread of it, and I listened to the graphic audio while I did it, and I had an amazing time. So I'm going to be listening to the audiobook for this one as well. I cannot wait to dive back into this story and this world because I'm absolutely loving it. So here's my little jar, and I'm going to go ahead and pick the first one. I do have some book mail that I ordered. I know of one book in here that I've already read, and the reason why I have so much book mail let me tell you a little story, is I don't know which book in here is the one that I ordered. So my plan is to include these in my wrapped up books because they're already wrapped up. I've actually forgotten what I've ordered at this point. So I went in onto Pango and I ordered the book I was looking for. And then I saw some other couple of books that I was interested in. I just added them to the cart and here I am with 4 different books. So my idea is that what I'll do is in my jar here, I do have some that say draw again. If I get one of those, I'll actually just pick one of these books. And if I open up the book that I've already read, I'm just gonna put it on the shelves and then open up the next one because I think this would be fun. So let's give this a shot. So I've kind of moved this over a little bit so you can see my cart a little bit better. It's not the most amazing angle or anything, but let's go ahead and pick a number. All right, so the first one I got was draw one more. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pick, I don't know, the first book here and open this one. Also, the person who sent me these from Pango wrapped them beautifully, so thank you. All right, so I got Keep It in the Family by John Mars. This will be really exciting getting into spooky season, and I'm hoping that it'll fit something on my TBR for the Mystic Readathon, which I will link that up in the cards above just so that you know what it's about and how to play and everything. That's created by Nell over at Nell's Next Chapter, so come join us. I'm on Team Ghost. I don't think anybody can join Team Ghost, but I'm one of the ghost people. Let's see what this book is about. So it says, a young couple's house hides terrible secrets and not all of them are confined to the past. Mia and Finn are busy turning a derelict house into their dream home when Mia unexpectedly falls pregnant. But just when they think the house is ready, Mia discovers a chilling message scored into a skirting board. I will save them from the attic. Following the clue up into the eaves, the couple makes a gruesome discovery. Their dream home was once a house of horrors. In the wake of their traumatic discovery, the baby arrives and Mia can't shake her fixation with the monstrous crimes that happened right above them. Haunted by the terrible things she saw and desperate to find answers, her obsession pulls her even further from her husband. Secrecy shrouds the mystery of the attic, but when shards of a dark truth start to emerge, Mia realizes the danger is terrifyingly present. She's prepared to do anything to protect her family, but is it already too late? All right, very excited for book number 1. So let's see what else I've got. We're back over here again. Let's go ahead and pick this one. That's funny. I'm gonna end up picking all of these ones that say draw one more. So I guess we'll just pick the next one in the stack here. All right, we have The Violence by Delilah S. Dawson. I don't know what this one's about. So I'm gonna read what this one's about because like I said, I was just adding books to my Pango cart. I think it was because if I bought so much from that store, I got like a discount and I really wanted the book that was in their store. So let me just read what this one's about. How far would you go to be free? 3 generations of women forge a new path through an America torn by a mysterious wave of violence in this electrifying cathartic novel of revenge, liberation, and triumph. I love me a revenge story. They call it The Violence, a strange epidemic that causes the infected to experience sudden bursts of animalistic rage with no provocation and no memory of their crimes. While the epidemic tears the nation apart, one woman sees something unlikely in the chaos. An opportunity. Chelsea Martin has been a prisoner in her own home for too long. Her controlling husband has manipulated her for years, cutting her off from all support. Her narcissistic mother is no help, and her teenage daughter realizes she might be falling into the same trap when her once adoring boyfriend shows a dark side. But when the violence erupts, Chelsea creates a plan to liberate herself and her daughter once and for all. Now, 3 generations of women navigate a world in which they are finally empowered to fight back. Somewhere along the shocking and thrilling journey from her magazine-ready Tampa home to the professional wrestling ring, Chelsea becomes her own liberator, an avatar of revenge and hope and a new heroine for a new world. So, okay, now we've got 2 books I've never heard of before, but Sounds like it'll be a great intro to spooky season because I feel like I want to get spooky in September, you know? And I'll be on the ghost team for the Mystic Readathon, so I'm feeling spooky already. All right, we're back over here again. Let's see what we get. Okay. Ooh, number 6. All right, 6 is up here. So it's something kind of small, and it is a paperback of some sort. So let's see what I get. This is so funny. Perfect. Okay. The Love Hypothesis. So it's really funny that I finally have gotten this book because I do need to read it. I think it's one of Ali Hazelwood's earliest works that I haven't read yet, and I've heard really good things about this one, so I'm excited to throw a little bit of contemporary STEM romance into the mix. And I actually just bought tickets for a local book event where Ali Hazelwood is going to be one of the moderators, so yeah, I have to read this book. In case you don't know about this book, this is a fake relationship between scientists, third-year PhD candidate Olive Smith, who doesn't believe in a lasting romantic relationship, but her best friend does, and that's what got her into this situation. Convincing On that Olive is dating and well on her way to a happily ever after was always going to take more than hand-wavy Jedi mind tricks. Scientists require proof. So like any self-respecting biologist, Olive panics and kisses the first man she sees. That man is none other than Adam Carlson, a young hotshot professor and well-known ass. Which is why Olive is positively floored when Stanford's reigning lab tyrant agrees to keep her charade a secret and be her fake boyfriend. And when a big science conference goes haywire, putting Olive's career on the Bunsen burner, Adam surprises her again with his unyielding support and even more unyielding six-pack abs. Suddenly, their little experiment feels dangerously close to combustion, and Olive discovers the only thing more complicated than a hypothesis on love is putting her own heart under the microscope. Alrighty, so this will be really cute to get to. All right, let's shake it up a little bit. I don't know if this does anything. Okay, I'm gonna go for this one. Number 3. All right, number 3 is over here somewhere. Oh, it's a big one. Okay, and it's a hardcover. I have a feeling I know what it could be, but we'll see. Oh, actually I didn't know. Okay, it's something with sprayed edges. Ooh, okay, perfect. I can get it out of here. We have The Night Ends with Fire by KX Song. Okay, so this might actually be really good because later in the month, at the very end of September, and I'll have like a little announcement video going up about this, I'm going to be reading books from subscription boxes. So this will be perfect because this is from my Fairy Loot box. And I think that the second book in this series recently came out, so it would be very nice to know if maybe I potentially want to get the second book in the series. But let's see what this one's all about. I'm actually going to read this little postcard thing that I got. So it's inspired by the legend of Mulan. It's an action-packed, thrilling fantasy following Mei Lin, a young woman who defies tradition and takes her father's place in the army. Prepare for turmoil as she grapples with the conflicting loyalties of love, duty, and power. Let me show you guys the inside art. So this is the naked hardcover. Very pretty. And then we've got the inside art, and the back is different. And then here is this alternate dust jacket. I love these colors on the inside. Like these blues and purples and pinks are my favorite. But I like the gold accents on this cover as well. So I'm very excited to read this. I feel like I've got some good mixes of genres in here already. Okay, so I believe that was 4 books so far. So let's go ahead and find one more book. I'm trying to be like a little easier on myself because I want to leave some room for me to like mood read. Especially because in August I went pretty ham. Okay, number 22. Well, it is a little bit of a smaller book, so there's number 22. Let's see what it is. All right. The Eyes Are the Best Part by Monica Kim. I'm so excited to read this one. So for my 5th book, I got The Eyes Are the Best Part, and I don't know a lot about this other than people just have like very visceral reactions to eating eyeballs. So I do know it's horror, and I really want to read this. Like, I've been so excited to unwrap this book. So let's see what it is about. It says, Crying in H Mart meets My Sister, the Serial Killer, in this feminist psychological horror about the making of a serial killer from a Korean American perspective. Ji-won's life tumbles into disarray in the wake of her appa's extramarital affair and subsequent departure. Her mother distraught, her younger sister hurt and confused, her college freshman grades failing, her dreams horrifying, yet enticing. In them, Ji-won walks through bloody rooms full of eyes, succulent blue eyes, salivatingly blue eyes, eyes the same shape and shade as George's, who is Uma's obnoxious new boyfriend. He brags about his puffed-up consulting job, ogles Asian waitresses while dining out, and acts condescendingly toward Ji-won and her sister, as if he deserves all of Uma's fawning adoration. George doesn't deserve anything from her family. Ji-won will make sure of that. For no matter how many victims accumulate around her campus or how many people she must deceive and manipulate, Ji-won's hunger and her rage deserve to be sated. Alright, I feel like this is a fantastic TBR. It's crazy that like all the books that I unwrapped were basically blue. Like, that's crazy. So here's my TBR plus for the fans, because I don't have a physical copy of that book. I'll just be listening to it on audio. So I'm very excited to read all of these. I think it's gonna be a great reading month. All right, so those are all the books that I'm planning to read in September. I will likely read a couple more than that, but I wanted to give myself some flexibility to be able to add books in, especially because, like I said, I have been reading quite a bit in August, and I might slow it down just a little bit in September because I'll be going to Villains and Vixens at the beginning of the month, and then later in the month I have a family vacation. So I kind of want to just take it easy. So if you've gotten to the end of this video, leave me a bow emoji, just like this one right here, because I'm obsessed with Miura's style from K-Pop Demon Hunters. Don't forget to hit the like button before you go. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!